Hey everyone, Eric here, and I have a quick story on fear and I was kind of thinking about how that relates to us as creatives and making decisions. And so just want to make a quick video on this story. So recently I was reading an article that got me thinking about fear and how it relates to our paths as creatives and musicians. And it was a story, there was an article about a woman walking from England, between England and Italy on a medieval pilgrim's trail. And at one point in the article, she said the line, fear is the price of freedom. And that line got me thinking, because I've noticed for a while that true fear can be a real gift that gives us, when it gives us a survival signal. But most of the time, what we might call fears are apprehensions or anxieties that things that aren't really life or death signals per se, but they're still important. And treating them more of like a movie that plays in our heads, where the fear part is where the movie stops in our minds. And so I want this video to be in part just a reminder to let the movie play out so we can show ourselves all the different ways that the movie could progress from there, which isn't necessarily in a bad way. And to view anxieties or apprehensions uh, not as a warning sign, but more of like an incomplete narrative. The problem here, as I see it, is we treat the cliffhanger as the finale. And that's a problem, as I'll show you. So, two moments where I realized I was doing this, freezing the movie and treating the cliffhanger as the finale in the past, were number one, when I was deciding to go on tour or not, and two, deciding or not to invest in my first recording studio with friends. So, both of those involved a decision to walk a path honoring starting my own business or investing in my own music or making a decision investing in myself regardless of what other people might think or concerns I might have, that it might not work out. Obviously we want to assess things clearly and logically. Not every decision is a go, is a yes necessarily, but it's a problem if all the valuable analysis and thought and creativity that we can bring to a decision kind of stops because we just freeze the movie at the critical point. So to view the situation as if it were kind of a mute movie of the mind, so to speak, I realized I was freezing the film at the point of the cliffhanger or the point of the decision instead of letting the movie play out and picturing it where it might go from there, like where it might develop, where how it might play out. And it's easy to potentially spend a lot of time in that spot. So remember that in these types of situations, we're in the projection room. We're not just sitting there in the theater passively looking at the screen. We're in the projection room, and it's we can realize that the film was never stuck, but instead we might have just been holding the pause button without realizing it. So when you finally let the scene play out, you play out past the cliffhanger, past the risk, past the potentially awkward product launch or potentially awkward decision. I re when I think back, I really found a catastrophe. You usually find just a simple Tuesday where you survived. It could have been just boring, or you made a decision and you moved on and it didn't look so much different than it might have before. So we're not the victim of the movie, we're actually the screenwriter. So I hope that this lands well and lands with value for people, especially as creatives and musicians, and how we can make decisions that will better ourselves. So I hope you liked the video. Hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.